In this movie, Black Widow and Dr. Banner have a closer relationship than they've had in the previous ones. Can you describe that relationship from each of their characters' points of view?
These characters have a much, what I always thought was a very unlikely love story that buds between them. Actually, kind of is it's actually in truth rooted in a very likely love story. These characters have a lot in common. They are two people that are really, I think idealizing this future that they have, that they could have with one another, and which is, which is really a result of their past. I think the fact that they have this kind of fantasy of, a normal life, finding themselves in another person and being able to live their life together. They have this one side of them that draws them, and then this other side that is the kind of divine, this kind of fate that they are, in store for. And it's a very complicated relationship that they have, a kind of impossible love that seems unlikely but isn't.
How would Bruce Banner define their relationship?
Impossible.
Why did you make everything so hard?
But desirable. I think he wants that more than anything, and it's a completely undeveloped part of who he is, and so I think these two people are the ultimate outsiders inside the Avengers, and I feel like they innocently sort of fumble into these feelings that I don't think I'd have expected to have, but are very satisfying.
Innocently fumble.
Is that
That's
good
sweet.
turn of a phrase?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Mark, tell us a bit about how the relationship between like Bruce and Tony has evolved and changed to where we find it in Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Well, they really started working together in Age of Ultron, and Tony's always pushing Banner and pushing, he pushes everything past the limits, and Banner doesn't necessarily like that, but also Banner's, a renegade enough that he actually experimented on himself, and so I think they both head into this. They both developed this artificial intelligence together that is this a spoiler alert? Completely goes out of control. I think everyone knows by now.
Scarlett, tell us a little bit about how not only the emotional relationship between, Natasha and Bruce, but also she becomes an important tool in helping to deal with the Hulk. So talk a little bit about her role in helping the Avengers with the Hulk in general.
How does Natasha tame the beast? It's a very good question. It's interesting that she does it with a human touch, I think, because I imagine that the last thing that anybody would... your every instinct is telling you like not to touch the Hulk, and like he is also like putting that out there. He doesn't like want to turn back. He is like not the person that you like grab and give a bear hug to, and yet like somehow it's almost in some ways like he's like it's like a kind of raging person that like needs a bear hug in a sense, or like a tender bear hug,
Yes.
but like needs somebody to like kind of come behind them and like remind them that they're like grounded and there's somebody with them and they're like present and like come back to yourself. And it's kind of like a therapeutic thing that she develops with Hulk. And I think that probably comes from her own maybe maternal instinct that she has.
Now, because of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you guys are never too far separated from each other, like the whole cast.
Thank
but
God!
What was
I know.
what was it like getting the whole cast
Awful.
back together again for this one?
It was fun. I mean, it's such a great group of people, and we've all sort of have grown together and had families, and then we don't see each other for a long time, and we come back together, and it's sort of like we're off again, and it's playful. Everyone's super fun and thoughtful and generous, and has great sense of humor, very playful. I just feel bad for Joss, who who has to try to wrangle this herd of cats, and get us to do something simultaneously. But yeah,
Like say lines.
Yeah,
or,
like say
when
act.
act, or like go in certain directions,
to
hit
a
marks.
direction. Yes, understand what the scene's about. Those kinds of little
Yeah.
things.